Hi, I call myself Zetkar and I don't like DoA6, but I'm really trying to estimate as impartially as possible. So, in this video I'm gonna talk about Kasumi's changes in DoA6 compared to DoA5 last round. Shortly speaking, I don't like her. She acquired some gimmicks, much cheaper and stronger stun game, amazing sidestep move, but with it, she lost some of her great melee range tools, retards destroying stun game tools, amazing whiff punishment tool, and ground game, which in my opinion made her less flexible and diverse, but more simple and effective. In other words, cheap shit. So let's see into detail. First of all, I wanna talk about her sidestep move, which is back punch. The problem with this one is that in DoA5 Kasumi was pretty good at sidestepping already. She had nice sidestep punch with built-in P+E move that gave stun on normal hit. And she also had back punch, which is safe, but high. So you could not sidestep some moves with it. As a rule, in DoA5, high sidestep moves gave stun, was safe, but they are high. Other mid sidestep moves, such as Honoka sidestep punch, is safe, but gives stun only on counter hit. And the third type is mix that gave stun but was unsafe. So, Kasumi had 2 or 3 types with almost the fastest speed. In DoA6, however, sidestep was nerfed into shit, and I personally don't know why. Yes, unlike Tekken though, sidesteps in DoA is cheaper, but you couldn't do sidestep guard. Plus, throws and strikes will trigger counter hit on sidestep opponent. So yes, not that safe after all. Plus, you don't actually need tracking moves to beat sidestep. You can just use strings for pressure that also can beat sidestep, like PK, 3PP, 6PK, etc. Moreover, sidestep is very needed to counter some nasty strings and pressure. Certain characters like Genfu, Kokoro struggled very much because of that. That's why you can just say, "Meh, I can live without sidestep easily," as you all say about slow escape. Retards. Sidestep was one of the best defense tools, because in DoA some strings are very cheap, and the only good option to beat them is sidestep. Your opponent will do to you a lot of those strings that are really punishable by sidestep. But as a rule, DoA player either standing and waiting for last hit or trying to interrupt. While all that sidestep requires is knowledge and some reactions. And now Kasumi may or may not be the only one with sidestep move that actually stuns. And not only stuns, come on, it's plus 35 on normal hit and plus 45 on counter hit. This is fucking a lot. You know, versus people who didn't slow escape in DoA5, better players used throw buffer as good option versus holds. You do stun, then you do fast throw, and even if he didn't hold, but also didn't stagger escape, you are at plus. If he was stagger escaping, however, well, you're still safe. And now, see this. I can throw buffer 12 frame drop here, and I still will be at plus. Sick. If other characters doesn't have move like that, it's so fucking cheap. So, I was noted that a back punch might actually not work well as defense option when someone pressure you with strings. And that turned out to be bullshit, cause if you block with block button, you will have no problem with sidestepping with back punch. I also heard that many people cry like bitches about new sidestep being very evasive, and that is complete bullshit to me, cause sidestep were much worse in DoA5, except almost no one used it right. With sidestep you could escape so much pressure, and every time it was in stun. No fucking cheap damage, stun. And it was not -15, it was like -8 or even safe. So if you can deal with a little more evasive sidesteps in this game, well, just don't play it. Fuck you! And by the way, there was a step guard before, it's just we never used it. For example, everyone knows that 3PP Kasumi tracks, cause it's natural combo and that means that follow-up comes real fast. But you can still sidestep it and block, or sidestep and sidestep. Hell, you can just sidestep whole 3PPP string. And that, my friends, was considered to be impossible. So I really doubt that sidestep in DoA become actually better. Yes, maybe you can even sidestep 3PP, although I doubt it. Still, it doesn't stun, it's -15, and that allows you to punish it with slow throws. Albeit, as in DoA5, I'm pretty sure no one will use anything except forward throw for punishment. For now, just remember this, +45, because we're going to the next part. For HK, your old sit-down move, which is now a fatal stun. And let me tell you something about fatal stuns in this game, kids. They are fucking cheap. At first I thought it was like crumple stun, which is okay. Crumple stuns was favorite in DoA5 LR, because you cannot slow escape from that and you fall down to the ground for about half second. So pretty much any launcher or move will work here. Now, it is a crumple stun in which you cannot hold, except for this shitty meter hold. Which would be, well, okay, maybe, but only if it gave guaranteed damage. But it does not. All it does is just the opportunity, you know, like Hitomi's forward throw. And that's bullshit. Cause getting those fatal stuns is so easy now. Basically, just look at this. You do down forward punch for stun, then for HK, then guaranteed launcher. And that's it. I did some pretty decent damage and no effort required. How fucked up is that? Well, in defense for DoA6, I gotta say they nerfed the damage from strikes. Cause in DoA5 it would deal more damage. But hey, they gave more damage to holds and throws. Good shit! Like it wasn't fucking broken enough already. Man, DoA just hurts really bad all those stun game enthusiasts who pick, for example, Jan Lee and beat everyone's ass with his amazing stun game without throws and shit. Oh, that was a good time. But now stun game is, well, less mind game required. If you consider that fastest holds can still work as slow escape, even if slow escape isn't in a fucking game. It is so fucking pisses me off. Like, some dude just, you know, running the circles on his D-pad. He's learning this fucking shit for half year, and some other piece of shit just do the fastest holds and they get the same result. And reacting to those fastest holds isn't fucking easy at all, cause they're fastest. It's like built in the name. The only option to beat those fastest holds is either do a throw or quick poke with good stun. Cause most hold beater moves like sit downs and shit like that, they are slow, okay? Fucking slow. And fastest holds just doesn't make it connect, which is like really fucking stupid. Those moves were designed to beat holds and shit like stupid retaliations, but you cannot do it, okay? They still shit in game, and with the fact that holds also deal bigger damage. Like, yeah, amazing. 50-50 all day, fucking Tekken style. Awesome. Now, let me tell you kids how it was in DoA5. You know, the logical game. First of all, let me try the same shit. 3 punch into 4HK.
Oops, it didn't broken me. How so?
Well, because that sit-down stun was so easy to slow escape. You actually have like 2 frames before fastest stagger escape. So it's like only, well, not good players could not stagger escape that shit. As a result, top Kasumis didn't get launcher from it. They get it, but only at the wall. In the open, however, the best follow-up was down forward punch. And even that is not easy at all, cause there is a shit. If opponent doesn't stagger escape, 3-punch will not connect. But if you try doing launcher and they manage to slow escape, which again was not difficult at all, you get your ass punished. So what you gonna do? Well, I did this motion. Forward, down forward punch. This way Kasumi did a little step, and down forward punch will actually connect. This trick was actually shown to me by Japanese Kasumis from arcades, as well as a force stack and some setups, and well... So yeah, I stole it, but I wonder why no one else stole it, like, come on, it's so good shit. Okay, back to fatal stun topic. So, just compare how hard it was for Kasumi before to get something from 4HK and how fucking easy it is now. Not only that, but old H plus K dealt actually more damage than it should. Mine, for example, has similar sit down and it was 15 damage, and Kasumi was 16. So mine actually have like easier setups, not to mention that she could easily launch from it, while Kasumi's sit-down stun versus opponents who stagger escape could be used only in few places. And even the timing of forward down forward punch can be fucked up due to lags. And in DoA6 you just press 2 buttons and do the same static combo. And you know, I can forgive DoA6 a lot of shit. A slow escape, stupid meter, no ground game, which I will talk about later, but making all the combos static. What, I am in fucking Tekken or something? Well, if I want to play Tekken, I would do so, okay? I don't wanna play Tekken in DoA, but DoA actually did a lot to go in Tekken's way. Too bad it didn't steal the good shit from Tekken. Now, remember plus 45 from back punch? Yes, the move is 22 frames, which is I24. And 45 minus 24 equals 20 fucking 1 frames. You can time 4HK follow-up for 21 frame. So you can just wait and see how opponent reacts. You have a lot of time to react to what your opponent is doing. If he hold, you throw, if he wait, you do some stun filler, or you can just, you know, wait and still do the fatal stun. So yeah, in my opinion, this is pretty cheap. If no one else has it, of course. For the last, let me give you a list of flowcharts to all possible stun fillers that lead to H plus K. As you see, you can do 4H+K in much more places than in DoA5, which as a game is cheap. Another buffed move is H+K, and you know, it is another one of those buffs that actually was in early versions of DoA5. She already had guaranteed launcher from her sit down stun. Well, maybe it wasn't actually guaranteed, I didn't check it, but if the guys from the tournament cannot stagger escape this. The interesting thing about H+K is that this move was as good as how bad your opponent is at stagger escape, starting from easy launcher from 9 kick in back, or you could do 6-6 punch and a quick launcher. This one was really hard to stagger escape. And not only stagger escape, you also need to block, cause your ass is still pointed at me. It wasn't easy, but with time people who played with me managed to even do that. There was also an open stance, close stance shit, but fuck that, no one used it. So for the last and the lamest option, you could do just 4PK and some shitty juggle. In DoA6, H+K give a big tailspin stun that allows you to do pretty much everything. Launcher, fatal stun, all of those slow but awesome shit. Well, unlike DoA5, nothing is guaranteed, yes. But with the fact that launchers now give the second level juggle no matter what stun level it is, and the fact that fatal stuns is such a cheap shit, it is buff, no doubt about that. But hey, why would you need to do HK in the first place? Because this new Kasumi has the same speed high kick move that does fatal stun, after which you could do just another fatal stun. Amazing shit, isn't it? And here I was bullshitting Tekken for lack of mind game. Still, HK move does some serious business. And with the fact that stagger escape is no more, at risk for HK can be done in a lot more places than it was in DoA5. Mid kicks in stun game. That is another one of Kasumi's problem from DoA5 that is also gone now. Cause in DoA5 her mid kick stun fillers was so shit. Of course, if you can do the faster stagger escape. 4HK, aside from being used after big stun moves, could also be used as stupid hold catcher, but it of course depends on your opponent, cause someone might do a stupid hold even in a place where all follow-ups can be stagger escape, while another opponent will just steadily slow escape and hold on reaction. But as I said, this fatal stun move can be used frequently. What about quick stun fillers? In DoA5, the main Kasumi stun filler move was 6K, which give only plus 15, but also had trick for holds. Now this move got nerfed and you wouldn't be using it as stun filler anymore. I will talk about it later. Instead of 6K, Kasumi player can now use 6K and 3K. 3K gave her plus 16 in DoA5, but due to big pushback on hit, you couldn't do anything with it. The best flowchart was to quick dash and jab, and that was also stagger escapable. So Japanese Kasumis used 3K mostly as hold catcher. Forward kick on the other hand gave no shit. It was plus 11, making the only possible follow-up is jab. And that's not good for DoA at all. But now, forward kick gives plus 19, which is okay. And 3K gives plus 19, which is still not okay because of pushback. Oddly enough, 6K still gives plus 11 if opponent does fastest hold. In DoA5 last round, I myself suggested to stick mostly to high and mid punch holds when you play versus Kasumi, but now it is still a better option, but not that great anymore. So yes, mid kicks got buffed. And that's it for buffs. Now let's see the nerfs. Oh yes, there are some of those too. And I really find this a shitty decision because they broke the character's uniqueness. You know, most of the nerfing comes to her original and distinct style move. I already told you enough about her sidestep, but I just wanna remind about her old sidestep punch, which was made with good stun and is no longer in the game, making sidestepping crouching moves impossible. Her ground game was not as powerful as Genfu's, for example, but still it was amazing, especially at the wall.
NANI?!
Wall combo finisher with PKKK gave her 4-stack setup that is safe. So here is two options for opponent. First, he stays on the ground, get his ass 4-stacked, and after 4-stack he stands up with pretty big minus. Or he could instantly 4-stack and only got like +4, which wasn't good versus Kasumi. Of course the best option for opponent is to wake up. But here comes the mix-up. You could only do P+K to visually bait opponent to wake up. Then you just don't do the last hit and still get your big plus, or one kick or grab or whatever. Pretty good, huh? Well, no more. I personally had safe Okizeme tools after every combo finisher. Of course, there were a lot of other good ground game setups. Some of which surprisingly but still in the game. So as you see, her ground game made her pretty unique in DoA5, because even Phase 4, her closest clone, didn't have such arsenal. Forward punch punch. Yes, now the last hit is -6, but fuck that. It is garbage, you don't wanna do it anymore. 6 PP was one of the best counter hit setups. If opponent didn't expect it and didn't hold the second move, you got free forward punch. But now sit down stun is gone, which makes this move not useful, except for wall splat situations. Not only that, this elbow was really great on range. Kasumi was not good at range in general, so her 3+ KP was like a go-to versus Hayabusas and other range good characters, especially if they don't take her range seriously. And it was so fast actually that you could even whiff punish with it. And man, I gotta tell ya, I wish my Tekken character had whiff punish like that. On normal hit you got pretty nice stun, and on counter hit almost guaranteed 6 XP. Again, smart asses that say, well, I'm gonna neutral throw it. Yeah, you can try. But the thing is, in DoA, unlike Tekken, there is input buffer, which makes almost all combos as easy as cake. Using this feature, you can buff and parry, hold, sidestep any attack, and after it, quickly press throw button. And that's it! You escape being thrown. And not only that, but you are also at +10, cause you broke the grab. So yeah, -6 is not unsafe at all. Don't listen to those guys. Another good range move to go was forward punch, and now someone think that this move sucks, and that's why they add a mid-kick follow-up, cause second hit is always high and that means you can just duck it. Oh yeah? Come on kids, were you like born yesterday? The biggest thing in DoA about strings and chains is that you can time the second hit a lot. So let's imagine that you trained yourself to react to 6 XP, which is not hard, even I could do it sometimes. So in this case you might think like, okay, this move is garbage, I wouldn't do it. And you would be an idiot, cause all you need to do is just time in the follow-up. This way you solve almost all the problem, and here is example from the training mode. Not that good, huh? Well then, how about adding a quick mid after just 6 XP? Is it so fucking hard to figure this out? Come on, I told Tekken fellas that DoA players is so resourceful and agile, but judging from this situation, retards fucking everywhere. So yeah, I don't want you pity and unsafe mid-kick here. You can take it away, thank you. While the real problem is that the elbow doesn't lead to stun anymore. Therefore, the only good option out of 6 XP is mid-kick, which deals shitty damage. Awesome. Thanks for 6 XP K again. For HK at mid-range was pretty good at catching whiffs and some aggro shit. It was safe, has pushback and led to guaranteed 6 XP on hit. Now it's minus 12, so obviously you can't use it as before. Nor as Swift Punisher, nor as Hold Catcher, nor as some aggro shit catcher. It's gone. 9K lost its bounding juggle property, so it could lead to reducing Kasumi's heavyweight juggle into shit. But no, mostly you do the same combo as to other weights, but finish it with bound move instead. Pressure. 6K was her best mid-kick up close. One of the best usage came when opponent is safe, so he could sidestep or mid-punch hold, and as a rule no one held mid-kicks in neutral. Kasumi did 6K to beat both those options. On normal hit it gave shitty stun though, but still better than in DoA6, while the follow-ups made her 6K safe by itself. And due to special property that 6K actually launches a little, 6KK was a neutral combo, and that also means that it was unholdable. That's why the second best usage was at wall pressure. If opponent ducks in fear of 1K, you got wall splat combo. If they try to sidestep, well, you still get something. And the last usage was a stun filler in combos. By itself, 6K gave only plus 15, but due to launching properties, opponent could not do holds for like 15 frames, so the fastest holds after 6K was not even close to the fastest. And not only that, but it actually gave Kasumi amazing setup for critical burst, and well, whatever soul move she might wanna use. In DoA6, this launching property still remains, but it is much weaker. Even 6KK can now be held, and 6K by itself gives only plus 9, and that sucks. Even if you still can use this move in neutral game as before, on successful hit it does nothing. So yeah, again, another distinct unique move was nerfed into shit. Team Ninja, why? (6P to K give guaranteed 6P), which of course opens more options for mind game, cause opponent can't stagger escape the follow-up, which leads to much stronger possibilities for Kasumi now. On normal hit 2k give plus 11, and that's also pretty good. Albeit you should be cautious not to whiff shit because of weird pushback. The main problem, however, is that 6p is no longer go-to pressure move, cause 6pp does nothing, 6pk is just obvious option and 6p2k punishable. But hey, 6pk was also buffed. Now it gives pretty good stun, but again, in DoA5 it was like a go-to safe move, and almost no one actually had the guts to hold this medkit.
Cause even if it hits like meh, whatever. But in DoA6 opponent now have 50-50 chance of holding it, cause again there is no reason to hold high, and you can just duck it. 1k also got nerfed. It gave pretty good stun before, and many non-stack escape enthusiasts got guaranteed follow-up. In DoA6 it does no shit, and also weird pushback. Judging by all those moves, I can pretty sure say that pure pressure game is weaker in DoA6. Lows got nerfed as well as some good counter-hit moves. As I was told, other characters suffered from similar changes. Many of them become simpler but more effective, which of course is bullshit for DoA, cause this game was never about technical skills. The best DoA players as a rule are mind game masters, and the mind game is very important skill even in other fighting games. I myself can beat Tekken players that have better technical skill than me, cause most of common Tekken players suffer from 50-50 disease, and with one opponent that shit is unforgivable. But again, DoA6 is not the same game I loved, and that's why I will bullshit it further in the next part of my review. Till the next time, fellas, and thanks for watching.